Hello there guys, and welcome to News to Thrill episode 5. This is where I'll be giving you all the latest theme park news from around the world and a little bit more, a bit of the other news as well. This is actually a very special addition to News to Thrill. This is why we're giving you all the latest roller coaster news. Nothing else, just roller coasters. So stick around and I hope you enjoy. Well, my first bit of news is coming over from Creely's Devon Adventure Park, which is a sort of a kids' small theme park over in Devon. And they're going to be opening their Twister roller coaster, which is a spinning roller coaster. And by the pictures, it seems to be a Revitron spinning roller coaster, the same people who do Twister over at Westminster Safari Park. But as a matter of fact, according to the local authority site, it's actually an SBF manufactured ride. The same people who did Whirlwind over at Great Yarmouth Pleasure Beach, which also opened this year. As you see, it's got multiple carriages as opposed to the single one, which holds 4. So I imagine that'd be better with the throughput, I imagine, because they're not the best throughput, the Revitron model. I'm guessing they'd be a lot better. And a few things that they say on the site is going to have a height of 40 feet, speed of about 30 miles an hour, and a length is 310 metres, and you have to be 1.2 metres tall to ride it, 120 centimetres. Looks like a nice family addition to the park, especially something because then it's, you know, they go for the kids. I'm guessing that would be more of their thrill ride for the park. They're probably one of their biggest ones in the park actually. Looks like a nice addition to that size park. Okay, and my other roller coaster news is coming over from a theme park in Finland called Powerland. And they have recently opened. They opened it on the 30th of May. Junker, which is a Gerstlauer Affinity coaster. It's actually a launch version of the Affinity coaster, launching about 60 miles an hour in 2 seconds. It reaches a height of 131 feet. It's got a length of 2,821.5 feet. And the elements they got on it, they got a nice few elements here. They got like a dive loop, an out back, a corkscrew, a vertical loop, which you should see there. Sort of you go through a bridge and the vertical loop, like it goes right around the bridge. It's like very nice. That's the entrance into it. That's a very nice entrance to go into, and as well as a nice top hat element as well. It looks like it shows some speed and everything. And I'll show you a little footage of the ride in action, just to show what it's like. That looks really good. It looks like it doesn't that last day. It looks like it keeps up speed, keeps going. Looks like it's got some nice cornering in there, nice transitions in between when you go into your next inversions. Looks like a very nice ride and I'd like to try. And it's actually, I said it's a launch coaster because it's 60 miles an hour in 2 seconds it launches you at. And it's actually an LSM launch coaster, and LSM stands for Linear Synchronous Motor. This is basically a magnetised one. Magnets sort of propel it forward. I don't know all the science behind it, but the magnets propel it forward. And yeah, so a magnetised one looks like a nice addition. Managed to get some speed. There's quite a few of them around. Premier Rides used quite a few samples of the LSM motors, such as Tempesto over at Busch Gardens. So yeah, it looks like a nice addition, one I'd like to try. And another roller coaster news is actually coming over from a theme park in Japan. I actually mentioned this in a previous episode. And that was that Nagashima Sparland are going to open Acrobat. Well, I can now say that they began testing it, and they did a video footage of it testing. And I actually did a video showing how similar it is actually to Manta, which if you a link here if you want to check it out. Sort of showing it's basically the same layout. They have the same height, they're both 140 feet tall. They both reach speed about 55 miles an hour. They both have G-forces of like 4. They both have 4 inversions, all the same inversions, and the only real difference is Acrobat's over at Nagashima Sparland is shorter by 100 feet, it's 3,350 feet as opposed to the 3,450 feet. I'd imagine it's just a shorter station or something, or maybe a shorter block bricks at the end. I don't know, there might be less carriages going around, so you don't need so long a station. But yeah, it looks exactly the same. I don't know. I would prefer them to have something more of a unique aspect to it, different kind of layout. But you know, nevertheless, it looks like a good ride. But yeah, it just seems to be the same. Okay, now for some news coming over from Sweden, and that is the Kolmarden, which is like a wildlife park / theme park, and they're going to be getting next year Wildfire, which has been so much hype about, so much advertisement about. It's going to be an RMC Woody, and it actually will be, which stands for Rocky Mountain Construction. It will actually be Rocky Mountain Construction's first roller coaster outside America. It's set to be amazing, and here's a little bit of footage at the Kolmarden theme park / zoo I've put up for you to enjoy.
The woodlands of Kolmarden, Sweden, have a history scorched by fire. The trees here were burned away to make room for the miracle of life. The flames have faded, but the glow still remains. Our passion for nature and untamed wildlife. It's time to reignite the fire. And this time, we go big. So big that when the smoke clears, the skyline will be redefined forever. It is time for Wildfire. The greatest wooden roller coaster in the world.
Well, there you go. Just looking at that, I mean, they're bragging about it being, the best wooden roller coaster in the world. So much hype about it. I like the fact that it's a bit different to other theme parks approach their rides. Like, for example, Cedar Point are going to be possibly getting a ride next year. Possible dive coaster, which I mentioned in episode 4. Rumours to be a dive coaster. Not official. And obviously, Alton Towers in 2 years possibly getting a wooden roller coaster. Again, not official. But they actually announced this last year. That trailer I showed you was up last year. And this is coming next year in May. And it just shows that they, for something that's not so well, obviously Cedar Point and Alton Towers are big names in the industry. Whereas Kolmarden isn't so much of a big name. It's nice to know that, it diverse. They want you to know about it and get you out there and get on that ride. And it's said to have, have speeds of 70 miles an hour, which would be fastest in Europe. Have a height of 187 feet, only beaten by Colossus over at Heide Park. It's going to have an 83-degree drop, which looks very steep. It has a length of 4,265 feet, which was quite a nice long ride, and have 3 inversions, which should be good. And it's said to cost them 110 million Swedish krona, which if you convert that into the British pound, that's £8,369,950 and 58 pence. And it is actually a terrain coaster, they've said. Which basically means it follows the landscape round, obviously that being Kolmarden, sort of slightly on hills and that. It follows the whole terrain round, going up over hills, down. It looks very beautiful. It looks, if you see some of the pictures there of the construction and where they're putting it, it looks like a brilliant place to put a ride, especially in RMC Woody. First one in Europe, first one outside America. And there was actually a few delays in it opening from local people of the area, saying that obviously due to near animals, that being it's partly a zoo, and obviously nature reserves around that area, obviously building it, on the side of hills and that. There's a few complaints, but they managed to get around that, and it's up and running, the construction is beginning, and it is set to open May next year, the 1st of May hopefully. And yes, it looks like a brilliant ride, fantastic addition to not a so well known park, be a fantastic addition to actually any park, even a well known park. This could actually, I reckon this could get in the Golden Ticket Awards if all goes well. Okay, now for some roller coaster news coming over from America. Now it's Carowinds, which is in North Carolina in the USA. They're going to be closing a ride on the 26th of July called Thunder Road, which is their dueling wooden roller coaster. It's manufactured by Philadelphia Toboggan Coasters, been around for some time. And they're both, obviously being a dueling coaster, it's kind of a racing one. Looks like a nice ride. They both reach speeds about 60 miles an hour, 3,819 feet of track, and they both have a height of 93 feet, and they're both 93 feet tall. There's no inversions, but it looks like a very nice ride, nice racing roller coaster. But yeah, that's closing. What's going to be replacing that ride in that area, I don't know. But yeah, whatever it would be, I'm pretty sure it'd be good. It's Carowinds, it's a Cedar Fair park. They also do Cedar Point. So yeah, hopefully they'll get a nice ride in its place. Okay, now for some news coming over from, again at Carowinds, but also at King's Dominion, which again, they're both Cedar Fair parks. And they've got two rides. The one over at Carowinds is called Intimidator, and the one at King's Dominion is called Intimidator 305. Intimidator is a B&M hypercoaster, and Intimidator 305 is an Intamin Giga coaster. And they both got a theme in of the NASCAR driver Dale Earnhardt, who had the name Intimidator. That's what it was called in the industry. And it's possible that they're going to get their name changed for 2016, both of these rides. That being because of they had a 6-year contract, obviously from NASCAR, to get that name Intimidator. And the rumours are that they probably won't extend the contract, is because there's been around the area, around the Intimidator merchandise and the Intimidator 305 merchandise, they've had 40% off all of the merchandise there, which sort of indicates, you know, that's quite a reduced price. Why would they bring that down? Maybe to shows, try and get rid of all the merchandise, Intimidator merchandise they can do, ready for renames. And there's also rumours that might be getting possible repainting to fit in with the new theme. People saying that Intimidator over at Carowinds might become Centurion. And King's Dominion, I reckon, well, I think a good name for it, possibly Stampede, because it fits in with the Safari Village area, which is an African-themed area. So possibly Stampede would be a good name, an elephant theme to that. Possible, you know, something like that. Or possibly even call it, because I looked at the African name for Stampede, and that is Stormloop. Which I think is quite a good name. Obviously, it hasn't got inversions, but Stormloop. I think it's a good name, Stormloop, for a ride. It could be filmed to the Stampede, elephants or something. I reckon that'd be a good name for that ride. People also possibly suggesting Carowinds become Fury, and yeah, because it's, well, to be fair, the one over at Carowinds, it's actually in the entrance bit. It's a Carowinds Plaza, so there's not much of a big theme into that area. But any other name would be good. Fury, possibly. But yeah, definitely I think one of the King's Dominion, Stampede, or possibly Stormloop. Okay, now for some news coming over from a theme park in Utah called Lagoon, and they opened on the 2nd of July, Cannibal. And I thought this was manufactured by Gerstlauer, a possible Infinity coaster or a Eurofighter. But it's manufactured by Lagoon themselves. They did it themselves. Which is nice to see, a bit different. It reaches a height of 208 feet, speed of 70 miles an hour, has 5 inversions, it's got 116 degree beyond vertical drop, which is very steep, very good, and it has a 2.5 minute ride, so it's quite a long ride. It looks like a nice addition to the park. Certainly it's become their biggest ride in the park and a very big instalment for them. Yeah, so it looks very good. Okay, now for some other roller coaster news still going on. Coming from a theme park called Adventureland, which is in Iowa, which is quite a not so well-known theme park. And they're going to be getting, next year, they're going to get a Gerstlauer Infinity coaster. Infinity coasters seem to be going up quite nicely. There'll be quite a few. I mentioned one earlier. So there'll be another one. Monster coming next year, opening next year at Adventureland. And it's actually been the first Gerstlauer Infinity coaster outside Europe. And Adventureland actually put up a little footage, a little sort of, I don't know if it's No Limits creation or something, of the ride in action and what it's going to be like. You can see there, it looks like it's got some nice inversions, it looks quite intense, looks like it keeps up some speed, looks quite compact, looks like it twisting out of each other, looks like a very good ride. You might have some nice head chopper moments in there possibly, but yes, that's a little video they've put up there. It says it's going to have a height of 133 feet tall, 5 inversions, 101 degree drop, which is steep but not as steep as Cannibal, but again looks quite steep. It's 2,500 feet of track, and it's actually going to be replacing their log flume ride, which the log flume ride has been there since 1974. But a log flume ride, all that, I prefer that. I mean, they've got a few other water rides around there, like a river rapids and that. But that looks like a very good addition to the park, and yeah, I reckon that could possibly be a game changer for them. So that's like a nice ride for them. Okay, well that was my very special roller coaster addition to News to Thrill. But other quicker news from other news, this is where it's not going to be theme park related, but things similar, or things that are also good and attractions as well. Are coming from Mammoth Swords, not Mammoth, well, multiple Mammoth Swords. Kim Kardashian wax figure has opened at London. Mammoth Swords London. It's actually Kim Kardashian actually taking a selfie there, so it's a nice little addition as opposed to just a wax figure. Nice that you're incorporating other bits into it. And they also opened not too long ago, on the 16th of May, Star Wars, which I actually saw, and it's actually a footage day trip to London, featuring Sea Life Mammoth Swords London Eye. If you want to check that out, you can see a bit of the footage of me around the Star Wars area. And also Blackpool, Mammoth Swords Blackpool, they opened Paddy McGuinness, star Take Me Out, you see there. Yeah, it looks like a nice addition to that. The Mammoth Swords over in Orlando, they're going to be opening in One Direction, which has been a lot of hype about, so they're going to be opening in One Direction area. And Tupac is coming over at Mammoth Swords Hollywood, as well as Lord is also coming over at Mammoth Swords Hollywood. And Marvel Superheroes is coming over at Mammoth Swords in Sydney. So yeah, nice additions to all these Mammoth Swords. Okay, now for some other news. My final news of episode 5 is that over in Chester Zoo, and some of you may know I mentioned this in previous episodes, and I was put up on Facebook and Twitter, that which opened on the 13th of July, Islands over at Chester Zoo, which is actually the most expensive project in UK zoo history, costing £40 million, which is a big budget to have on a zoo project, big budget to have on a theme park project as well. So it's supposed to be like an immersive experience. You go over bridges, you walk around areas, sort of seeing them. It looks like they try and recreate Southeast Asia, the creatures in Southeast Asia. It looks like a very immersive experience, very good. Some of the pictures there sort of shows how good it's going to be. There's also a boat ride going around as well, which you can go on. It looks very good. I'd like to get out there and try it. £40 million project. It's bound to be good. We've also got a big inside sort of warm house, well, it's slightly warm area, so some tropical creatures from the area. Yeah, it looks like a big project. It looks beautiful. It looks lovely. Nice addition to Chester Zoo there. And that is actually phase 1. There's actually phase 2 is going to be opening in August, so it's going to be expanded a bit more to Sumatra. And I think the Sumatran tigers are coming in phase 2 for August. This is phase 1, opened 13th of July. Looks like a very fantastic area. I'd like to go out there and see it. Okay, well that is all my news from Newsfield episode 5. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you want to leave comments of attractions or rides or theme parks or something, or even a bit of the other news that I want to, that you want me to talk about, leave a comment, and I'll make sure I talk about them. I'll get all my info together. Like, comment, subscribe. As I said, check out my Twitter page, Facebook page, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. And see you later, guys.